I'm joined now by Samir Brikho. Thank you so much for coming to speak to us, Samir. So as we were hearing there, first half revenue rose 13%. Just take us through what's been driving profit for you.
Well, I mean, it is first a record result. The revenue is up 13%, and the EBIT margin also has been going up with 20%. And to the question is, what is driving that? The number one issue, I think, is very important, has been our relationship with our customers. We have been able to build a long-term relationship with our customer, and that has been benefiting actually out from across both the regions and also the geographies and also the capabilities in the sectors. But I think also very important is that in 2006, we have defined which are the sectors which we want to be in. And these sectors has been the growth areas. But more important is that they have requirement of capabilities and capacities, and that's what Amec Skills has, and we have been able to provide that.
Now, the picture wasn't always so rosy for your company, right? You faced a flurry of profit warnings some 5 years ago now. How have you managed to turn things around?
Well, I came to the company less than 4 years ago, so yes, we had the 3 profit warnings on a row, and that was not an easy ride for Amec. But what we needed to do actually is to go back to basics, analyze the company, and we did an activity-based costing model to understand about what is the skills and the talents of Amec and where we want to have it. So we created, after being 73 days at the job, a new vision. We set up clear strategies, and we have encapsulated in financial terms. We gave a lot of financial objectives which we wanted to achieve, and we went out and make it happen.
And I understand that in terms of your overall strategy, you shifted the business out of construction, civil engineering, property development. Tell me more about what you have been focusing on.
The focus today is in 5 sectors, one being the natural resources, which include oil, gas, oil mining, and also metal and mining. The second one being the nuclear business, the clean technologies, water, and also environmental services. So these are the focus areas.
So those are your focus areas, and where do you expect growth to come from in the medium to long-term future?
Well, the result which we presented today, apart from the 13% growth of the revenues, the good story here, that each of our division has been actually organically growing. But we continue to see a recovery on much of the oil and gas investments going forward, as well as the mining and the nuclear business.
So oil and gas, mining and nuclear, and tell me, which geographical areas are you focusing on? Are you winning contracts in, if you like?
Well, we have Amec is represented in 40 countries, so we have some 23,000 people around the world. But most of the areas which we are focusing on is mainly North America and the UK and Europe. And that's where we have seen the biggest growth at the moment, especially out of Canada.
And what is your take on the global economic recovery?
Well, there is a different reaction in different regions in the world, where we see, for instance, Europe is lagging behind, let's say, the recovery. We see a number of countries in Asia going almost for 8% and 10% and 11% growth. So it's good news for some countries, less good news for some others.
And tell me about the significance of the emerging markets, particularly for a company like yours.
I mean, the emerging markets are very exciting for us. I mean, especially, the need which we see and the drive, in whether it is in Middle East, whether it is in the Caspian, whether it is in Asia, are very important, and they form a part of our strategy going forward, because we said that these regions are going to be very important regions for us for growth. And as the needs and the demand are actually much greater than they are in Europe, we see good possibilities coming out from there. Any
good projects, any new contracts in the Middle East, for example?
We have been having quite a good run in the Middle East. I mean, we work very hard and close to KOC, the Kuwaiti oil company. We have been doing a lot of work for them. We are managing multi-billion-dollar jobs. We're very much involved in Abu Dhabi, also in parts in Saudi Arabia, and going forward, Iraq and Libya will be an interesting place to work in.
And I understand that you lost the bid to manage the UAE's nuclear program. Are you in talks with Saudi Arabia to manage theirs?
Well, we actually are in Abu Dhabi also with that. So what we are doing is that we have a joint venture agreement with the Koreans, and which have got the contract, and we do provide them with a lot of services, and both on the nuclear assessments going forward. But countries like Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt, and Morocco are of interest of ours, together with our partners.
Samir Brikho, CEO of Amec, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you coming in to speak to us.